Hi everyone, 大家好, this is Jingwei, and as you can tell from the title, today I'm going to be comparing the three tanks in this game that can protect your allies. The first being our OG tank, Gil. The second, which is our newly released dark tank, Baal, who will be entering global in a few days, I think. And lastly, I'll also be comparing Greta, who is the newest tank in CN. So if you don't care about that, you can just skip the ending part. I'll have timestamps. Okay. So before I start on the video, um, Discord promotion. Can you guys please join my Discord? Okay, I know very shameless, but I just hope that there's more people in there to chat with me. And yeah, if you guys want latest updates or whatever, just join lah. Okay. Inside you can talk to me, call us fat. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. End of my promotion. So let's start on the video. Okay, before I start on the video, I want to clear up a few things about Bao's skill description in global. So as you can see on the right side of my screen, this one, this is the global version. So there has been some confusion over the translation, and I'm gonna tell you guys what's happening. Okay, let's just where is my okay, so as you can see on the skill one, it says that he has a chance to apply taunt to 2 random targets, and then below it says instigate. So don't be confused, this taunt means instigate, but I'm sure many of you guys can infer, but I just want to confirm that this taunt over here means instigate. It does not mean the taunt that Estelle or Thanatos applies. It is not that. Okay, so probably just a slight translation error since they have similar meanings. Okay, and the important thing that I want to clear up is skill 4. So if you guys check my document, I have translated most of the upcoming unit skills. So many of you guys know that Bao does protect his teammates, but in the global version, his skill 4 does not have any mentions on protecting allies. So if you just scroll down a little bit, you can see that the protecting thing is over here. It is placed as a passive. So similarly, you can see on the Chinese server, yeah, same thing. The only problem is that they did not put this skill description in the, this effect in the skill description. So it's a bit confusing, unclear. Yeah, I don't know. But basically, just know that Bao does protect his teammates. So don't be worried, okay? Let me just swap to the Chinese language over here. And then, oops, are they downloading for me? Oh, I have to download. Okay, since it's downloading, let me tell you guys what's happening. It's Friday. It's a weekend. I'm going on a short trip to like some yeah, so yay, I can take a rest, I guess. I've been working like weekdays, so tiring. And recently I just went out and I bought this Maison Margiela fragrance. Do you guys know that brand? I bought this fragrance called Lazy Sunday Morning. And then the saleswoman was really good. Then she psyched me into buying another fragrance. So I bought 2 fragrances from Maison Margiela. One is Lazy Sunday Morning, and then the other one is on a date. Okay, yeah, end of story. We are here. So let me show you guys. So if you look at the skill description, it is exactly the same. Exactly the same. So there is no changes in any of Bao's skills in global. He has exactly the same kit. But because it is not clear in the English description, I'll just say it again. At level 1, he protects 2 allies. At level 2, he protects 4 allies. And at level 3, he protects every single ally on field. Okay, it does not say in the English translation, but it does say on the Chinese description. So just keep that in mind. Okay, that's it. So now let's start on the real comparison. So let's throw away this because I don't need it anymore. Let's bring back my Google Sheets. Okay, so let's start. So I have said that 9 stars Bao is better than 13 stars Gale. So I'm going to, do a flat out comparison here with numbers to prove to you guys. Okay. So if you guys want to watch a guide on Bao, I have it. So just check that first if you want. Okay, let's start. Okay, so I would say that Gale has actually very low survivability, because if you look at all of her skills, right, she doesn't have any, like, she just doesn't have much survivability. I'll show you guys, okay? So I'll say Bao has very high survivability. So why? For HP restoration, Gil doesn't have any. But for Bao, right, from his pact, the skill 4, this one. Actually, I should be showing in the English. It's okay. Check yourself. From his pact, he can gain 5% every round for the first 4 turns. And if the enemy with the pact dies, he also gains 25% HP. He also has the skill 3, where if he dies, he will revive and restore 60% of his max HP with invincibility until round end. So that's already very good. So you can see why. Okay, now for self-defensive buffs. For Gale, she only has one, which is every 5% loss in HP, she gains a 1% damage resistance. So that's okay, I guess. But for Bao, at 9 stars, he has, he gains a stack every time he gets attacked. And at maximum stacks, which is very easy to obtain, he gains a total of 22.5% damage resistance. And upon his transformation, which is upon obtaining max stacks, he will also get a 15% defense buff, which sounds a lot better. Okay, and then for CC resistance, Gale has none. So yeah, sad. Oh, okay. For Bao, he doesn't have any in his. Actually, he does. He has this. He also gains CC resistance from his stacks, and after he transforms, he is immune to all CC. So that's very, very good. And damage wise, Gale has very high single target damage, assuming that she absorbs a lot of damage. However, it's not very consistent, so I would say overall low damage output. But for Bao, he has decent damage output even though with low multipliers, but he is hitting the entire opponent team, so that's more damage. His contract, his skill 4, that pack thing, also deals a substantial amount of rebound damage. And if you look at this thing, after he transforms, he also gains some damage buff from his skill. So yeah, his damage is actually quite good. He also has a counter attack, so it all adds up. So protection wise, Gale only protects the highest attack unit, but it refreshes every round and has 100% uptime, assuming that she is alive for like all the time. But for Bao, at 9 stars, he protects 4 allies of the highest attack. However, his protection is very RNG based. It's only 55% chance that it can proc the protection. So yeah, and even if it procs, he can only protect 1 unit if it's an AoE attack. So I think it's random. Moreover, at level 2, which is 9 stars, his protection only lasts for the first 3 rounds. After that, Bao cannot protect anymore, so he becomes a standing unit. This isn't much of an issue because Qingluan's Feather Mark also ends by the 4th round. So after that, they also return to normal attack order. So as long as you place Bao at the first position, it's okay. You only have 1 turn without much protection. You understand? Okay, so protection strength. Gale blocks 95% of damage and she receives 75% of the 95%, which is 71.25%. Yeah, it's math, okay? So for Bao, he blocks 70% of the damage and he receives 75% of the 70%, which is 52.5% damage. Okay, can protection be disabled by Guna? Yes, for both. So that's kind of sad. But Bao protects 4 allies at 9 stars, so it just becomes 3, while Gale becomes useless. So yeah. Can the protection be dispelled? I'm not so sure about Gale, but it didn't say that it can be cleansed. I'm not too sure though, so don't quote me on this. Bao's protection can be dispelled. Can the protection be dispelled? It cannot. So the dispel skill, Bao's protection cannot be dispelled. So yeah. Okay, can they protect even after being CC'd? Gale cannot protect after being CC'd. And for Bao, in his original form, if he gets CC'd, he cannot protect. But in his transformed form, he has CC immunity, so that doesn't matter anymore. For CC infliction, okay, Gil has a single target CC, and upon skill cast, 90% chance to inflict that severe injury CC. And then for Bao, it's actually very constant CC infliction. So it is both on. So after he transforms, he can inflict dizziness over here on his rage skill, and his counter attacks also have like certain percentage, 23% to inflict dizziness. So it's very consistent since he will always be launching counter attacks. So yeah, you'll be quite annoyed fighting him. It's really very good. You guys will see it later on. So for buff provision to allies, none for both. So that's kind of useless. For debuff application, Gil doesn't apply any debuffs to the enemy team. Yep. Okay, but for Bao, he does apply the instigation debuff, which will reduce enemy dodge and make them deal 50% less damage. So it's really good if it falls on the opponent's DPS, because that's like half damage reduction. And he also has the pact from his skill 4, 30% damage rebound. Yep. Okay, last. So let's talk about his formation. Gil should be placed at the back, and then your highest attack unit at the front to, like, you know, do your protection stuff, I guess. But for Bao, he is most preferably placed in the first position. As mentioned earlier, once his protection ends, he will become a standing unit. So it's best if he stays in the first slot, so that after the opponent Qingluan's feather mark ends, they will continue the standard attacking order, which is the first unit. So yeah. So this is the full comparison for Gil versus Power at 13 stars versus 9 stars. So I took the relevant corresponding stats. So very clearly you can see that Bao is much better. Is basically much better at tanking at every single thing. Okay? So yeah, I hope this convinces you to change to Bao, even if he's at lower stars. Honestly, at 8 stars, I think it's fine. So yeah, good luck to people pulling for Power. Okay? Good luck. Okay, so now I'm going to start talking about Power versus Greta. So for people who are not interested in Greta, because she's an enlightened unit, so she'll come much later, so you guys don't really have to care. But I will do the comparison now. Okay, so first let's briefly go through Greta's skills. Okay, let me just say, I'm doing the comparison at 11 stars, as both of them unlock the biggest power spike going to 11 stars. They also need similar amount of copies. You need 9 copies of Bao to go 11 stars and 8 copies for Greta to go 11 stars. So quite a fair comparison, I would say. So let's look at Greta's kit. I briefly translated. I didn't put the full description because it will take too long. So basically for her rage skill, she will deal 245% damage to opposing team. Okay, back 2 rows I mean. I didn't say it, but it's 245% damage to the back 2 rows. 8% max HP damage, deals additional 170% to the enemy with the highest speed. And apply Fracture, buff 3 allies with the lowest defense with Clarifying Eyes. So yeah, you guys can just read, okay? For her second skill, she will apply Polar Protection to allies positioned above and below her. Actually, let me just show you guys what's up with her. So let's just find a random person. Just give me my money. Okay, sorry. Let's just remove. Yeah, okay, so you guys can watch her do the thing, okay? So basically, this polar over there, you guys see that? Yeah, this is the protection. Okay, anyway, this polar protection, she will absorb 95% of damage from protected allies, and she will only receive whatever. So just read yourself. No time. I'm trying to rush through the video because my videos always take so long. Okay, so for her skill 3, standard base stat increased, and whenever she's attacked, she gains a stack of a buff, very similar to Bar. And the buff basically increases damage resistance and defense by 1.5%, maximum 10 stacks. And every time Greta is attacked, every 5 times that Greta is attacked, she will launch a team-wide counter attack, as seen just now. That polar bear shouting, that was her counter attack. her counter attack will also apply the beast mark and it'll last for 2 rounds. Beast mark looks like this blue color thing. It's on this purple guy here. So that's the beast mark. Okay, last skill. The first time that Greta is crowd controlled, she will remove all negative statuses, even ones that cannot be cleansed, like Guna's green color CC. She will also gain a CC resistance buff, where her crit resistance is increased by 20% and she is immune to all CC for 3 turns. This one cannot be cleansed. And then her soul skill, at the start of the round, she will recover 5% of her max HP. And when she receives a fatal attack, very similar to Power, she will restore 60% of her max HP and 100 points of rage. She will also then enter the immunity state until the end of the current round. Okay, that is the brief rundown of her skills, and you guys can see her performing here. Okay, so let's do the comparison. Okay, so the survivability, I would say Bar still has higher survivability because he has many instances of HP restoration. Greta has less survivability because she's always constantly absorbing damage from 2 allies at the same time. She also has less HP restoration but more defensive buffs. Okay, let's go over why. So for HP restoration, at 11 stars, Bar gets 5% every round for the first 4 rounds, and the same thing, so his contract. Okay, he also restores HP every time he casts his rage skill. So yeah, you guys can just read. Okay, and the third one, he gets the upon death revive and restore 60% HP invincibility. So yeah, that's his stuff. Okay, let's talk about Greta now. For Greta, she has 2 different points of HP restoration. The first one is the standard 5% max HP restore every turn from her soul skill. This one, that's her soul skill because she has 5 skills. And the second one is the same thing, exact same thing to Power. Okay, upon death revive, restore HP and invincibility, but she gets the extra 100 points of rage, so that's an extra skill cast. Okay, so for self-defensive buffs, at 11 stars, Power has 30% max HP. Sorry, what did I say? 30% damage resistance at max stacks and 15% damage buff upon transformation. For Greta, she has a lot. So the first one, she has 20% crit resistance. Secondly, she has 15% damage resistance at max stacks. Thirdly, 20% crit damage resistance. Fourthly, 15% defense buff. And the last one is that every 5% loss in HP, she gains a 1% damage resistance. So that's a long list. And for CC resistance, Power doesn't have any in the original form, and he's immune to all CC after transformation. For Greta, she is immune for 3 turns after she first gets CC, and the original CC is removed. Okay, damage wise, same thing. Power's damage is decent, but not that high. But if we compare Greta has very, very high damage output because her multipliers are much higher. And she also has 3 different forms of extra attack. She has a second attack in her rage skill. She has a team-wide counter attack, which accounts for quite a large portion of her damage. And she also has her weapon skill, which I didn't talk about here, but it gives her more damage. So yeah, her damage is really, really very high in comparison to Power. Okay, now for protection. At 11 stars, Power protects 4 allies of the highest attack. Same thing. I'm not going to go through it again. But for Greta, she will absorb damage for the 2 allies positioned above and below her, 100% uptime all the time, so it refreshes every time. So compared to Power's protection, which only ends after the first 3 rounds, Greta's one is 100% uptime as long as she's alive. Okay, so protection strength. Same one for Power, but for Greta, she will block 95% damage and she will receive 75% of the 95%, which equates to 71.25% of the damage. Can the protection be disabled by Guna? Yes, for Power, but it cannot be disabled by Guna. So, should I do a test? I have no time. Okay, maybe I can do a test. Let's just find a Guna. Over here, let's see, here. Okay, so let's watch if the protection is disabled by Guna, and then I'll continue talking. Can she protect even after being CC'd? baal cannot in the original form, while Greta can. I think. It never says, so I think so. Okay, so for CC infliction, um, baal same thing, but higher chance because he's at 11 stars. So yeah, that's his best star because he gets a jump from 18% to 30%. So that's good. For Greta, the CC chance is actually much lesser. It's still okay, but it's much lesser. Only 19% chance to apply Frost on the attacker when being attacked. So she only has one form of CC. So yeah, that's it. For buff provision to allies, none for baal, but for Greta, her skill cast can provide healing over time and negate armor break for 3 allies of the lowest defense. So that's good. For debuff application, same thing for baal, but for Greta, she has first one, fracture, where she reduces speed and disable buff gain. Second one is the beast mark, which is a DOT kind of thing, where she bans heal. It cannot be cleansed. It's actually very deadly as mentioned, because heal ban and cannot be cleansed. Wow. Okay, formation, same thing for baal, first slot, and for Greta, she must be placed in the middle of 2 units in a single file. So like over here in a single file, column, whatever you guys say, placed in the middle, she will protect the top, which is my Callisto, and the bottom, which is my Morchen. So what I would say, okay, so my verdict, if I were to compare between baal and Greta, I would still stand by Greta. Because she has 6 skills and baal only has 4 skills. So because she is an enlightened unit, she is surely going to be better than baal. The only way that baal outperforms her is in terms of survivability and CC. But baal outperforms her in survivability mostly because he doesn't absorb that much damage, and also because his protection is very chance based. So that's not very reliable, while you can always rely on Greta because hers is 100% uptime. So yeah, that's the end of my video. I hope I didn't take too long, and I was rushing through the video because I haven't, it's 8, I'm starving, I haven't had dinner, so I want to go and eat, I want to go makan, I'm very hungry. So that's it, that's for the end of my video. Final summary. 9 stars baal confirm better than 13 star skill, so just make the change. Once he's out, just make the change. And if you were to ask me between 11 stars baal and 11 stars Greta, both are actually on very similar levels. As compared, they are quite good, really. Both are really very good. I would just prefer Greta because she does block more damage and not very chance based, where baal sometimes might not block the damage. So yeah, but both are solid options. Very fair, very great. So okay, that we have come to the end of my video. If you guys haven't watched my baal guide, please watch it. It's quite recent, I made it a few days ago. And that's it. Final promotion. Guys, please join my Discord server. I will link it in my description. Just join, and there is a channel in there for CN leaks. So I'll post all the CN updates in there, and you guys can view it if you guys want. It's a locked channel unless you give yourself the permission to view it. So don't worry, you won't get spoiled. Or you can just join and like chat with me. I'm a very fun person. I'm a very funny person. I'm a very humorous person. Yeah, okay. We the people there are great. So just join and talk to us. And also Southeast Asian server is opening. So if you guys want to play there with me, join my server too, I guess, and we can talk about that. Okay, final goodbye. Thank you for watching. Yes, bye everybody. I need to go eat. I'm starved.